Hello, my name's Glenn Smethurst. I'm a product manager at GE. I'm responsible for the Smallworld core spatial technology. What I'd like to do now is spend a few minutes just showing you some additional enhancements that we've made to our integration of Google Maps into the Smallworld product, which we're quite excited about after having talking to users in workshops about what they liked. We've done our Google integration and what things they'd like to see next. So when we talk about integrating Google with Smallworld, we're really looking at a lot of the GIS professionals, some of the most technical users who are using our native desktop applications. So they have a lot of specific workflows and high expectations about accuracy when they're doing data capture. What we've previously done is bring Google data in, which are the maps, the street view, and some of the terrain data as well, and which helps them corroborate the information they've got inside Smallworld with data that they can access via Google. The things that they started when we talking to those users about additional capabilities they had was, well, what could we do if we wanted to access some of the searching capability we can get with Google Maps over the web? So everybody thinks of Google as the preeminent search engine, so that's something that we took a look at putting into the product. And also, would there be a way of using Street View when they're doing data capture, so they can start looking at things like, well, I'm data capturing a proposal to a network here, a network extension rather, and but as I do that, are there any constraints to access which I could see perhaps by looking at Street View? So both of these enhancements we put into the product, and I'd like to give you a quick demonstration of both of those now. So here is the Cambridge demonstration database. Not a lot of information here, and what we've got is a new toolbar here for doing a Google address search in it. So I'll just show you a sample address search. So I'll do One High Street, and I'll ask Google to find that for us. So what it's done is actually switched on the Google layer. So we've now got some road data as well as the Smallworld data, and we have a number of possible matches for that high street. So the map I've got displayed on the screen is around Cambridge. So what Google has done is biased those results to be in Cambridge. So if you imagine if I did One High Street, around the world there are very, very many potential hits to that. So what Google has done is actually limited that to the ones most likely to be relevant to this map view. So I can click on one of these, there's one in Harston, and I can go directly do that. So the benefit really for customers wanting to access this type of address database is really about the fact that Google maintains a very large address database, which they don't have to. Something in excess of 60 million addresses, I understand, Google are maintaining and adding all the time. So that is a forever updating resource that we can bring directly into the Smallworld application, which they don't have to worry about from that point. So that's an immensely powerful way of locating and even validating some customer addresses as well. So the second main feature that we were asked to add to the integration was the way of using Street View particularly when we're doing data capture. So everybody knows how to use Street View with Google Maps on the web, but is there a way of integrating into the workflow when we're doing data capture inside Smallworld? So if I go to within this application, if I go to an area where we might be doing some data capture, so I'll go switch my road network on, and I will go to a bookmark near Smallworld. So here we got some data overlaid on the Google Maps layer. And what I'm going to do here is just zoom in a little bit further so we get a nice sort of detailed view And the way that you would data capture inside Smallworld is you generally create a trail. There are some other techniques, but a very common technique is to create a trail. So as I click on some points here, okay, my trail, you will see that I am effectively going to data capture a linear network. So how we've integrated this with Street View is, if I click on this little overview tab, I'll make it a little bit bigger so you can see quite clearly, is that we've integrated with that trail that I've created. So as I click a new point down on the trail, not only do I see Street View locate that, but I also see little markers appear as well. So the benefit of that is I can interact with Street View at each of those points where I was data capturing. Of course, this interacts the way that we'd expect with Google Maps on the web. I can rotate my view around. I can see the markers representing each of those trail points that are created, and I can move it independently up and down the street that we've got represented in Street View. Because it's driven by the trail, I can also bring up the trail properties tool. Oops, sorry, the trail points tool, and I can use this trail to do a very fast navigation of all the points that I've just entered into the system representing on Street View. So it's a good way of reviewing that. So if I go up and down this trail point using this control here, you can see Street View navigating as well as I interact with inside the GIS. Okay, they're the two new features which come directly from our customers and our users asking about how we could enhance the Google integration. It's really about providing those users with more productive tools. So the address example was a good one where they can no longer have to look at an external address database or even have to maintain their own. They can just tap into this huge address database that Google provides. And the second case, the Street View example, is where we're doing data capture. Again, here's an additional data source of a very large value that they can bring in just to be able to say, well, are there access constraints? Are there things I need to be aware of right at the street level by connecting into that Google data? Okay. Thank you very much for watching the video. Please tune in again to additional videos that we'll be posting about small core spatial technology. Thank you for watching.